many days is the menstrual cycle of a woman? So we want to talk about, hormonal health generally, being your greatest business asset. There is something that we call equilibrium, right? So equilibrium, everybody talks about balance, and we look at it when it comes to anything that has to do with balance. We talk about everything being in harmony, right? We understand that hormones are literally chemical messengers, so they are basically some things in your body that help to relay message for something that needs to be done at a particular time. So, for instance, when it's time for you to have your period, right, there are certain hormones that send messages to the womb and say, guess what, it's that time of the month again. I think I saw one very funny skit like that, where the brain was busy sending message to the womb that it's that time of the month again, and the womb is like, when did we, I know we just had this conversation a couple of months ago, right? So, and hormones are the ones that relay that message, so they work in a very complicated, sometimes, not that complicated for we doctors. So because of estrogen, we are able to start ovulating, right? And then when it comes to ovulation, during ovulation, progesterone levels, progesterone, a hormone again, is developed as a result of the eggs that has been released. Progesterone starts being developed, right? Hoping that pregnancy will happen. And when that doesn't happen, the linings and in your womb that has been prepared during all that time falls off and comes out as menstrual or menstruation. So hormones make all of these things happen. Now, the fact of the matter is that people think hormones is just for reproduction and your moods. But it's more than that. Hormones do way more than that. They help with your execution and your endurance. How many of you notice that there are some certain times you just notice you are tired? You are just tired. You're tired is tired. Do you understand? Yeah. Sometimes when you take a very deep look at it, it is the hormones that are imbalanced. So hormonal imbalance doesn't just mean we are having that conversation because of reproduction. People always assume that whenever we are having a conversation about hormonal imbalance, it is because of you want to get pregnant. No. For proper harmony and proper functioning of the biological, like a woman, the hormones also have to be in perfect harmony. Have you noticed that whenever you are ovulating, you seem to be performing wonders, like your mind is doing one or two things very fast? You agree, right? The reason is estrogen. The reason, because the greatest surge, right, that you have of estrogen is when you are ovulating. It's during that time, right? It surges up, right? So all of these things have to happen. So the estrogen has to surge up, and then from there, after a while, the progesterone too will come on its own, expecting that pregnancy will come, and then when that doesn't happen, then you start shedding up. How many days is the menstrual cycle of a woman? Are you Googling it?
28.
28. Who else again wants to? 24 to 32. Okay. If you mention the range, you are right. If you mention the specific day, you are wrong. So most times, a lot of women always assume that, my cycle is just a 28-day cycle. Or sometimes I've had women come to me tell me that, but doctor, my cycle is supposed to be 28 days. But I will not ask. And they'll say it's 35. And they'll say it's normal. And they'll be like, no, doctor, I'll have to open and tell them that it's a range. For some, they have shorter range. For some, they are at the tail end of the range. So, first, it's very important to understand your own biology. Now, hormonal health is maintained when the endocrine system produces the right amount of chemical messengers, whether it's progesterone, estrogen, whatever, everything, to regulate your metabolism, reproduction, mood, and sleep. So that's why I said it is beyond giving birth. Some people think your hormones are just about this part. They always put the conversation around reproduction, and that is wrong. there is this metabolism. Metabolism literally has to do with every single process, chemical process that happens in your body, whether it is digestion, whether it is respiration, anything, right? Metabolism. Then mood, right? Your mental health, and sleep. And sleep. So when all of these things are maintained in equilibrium, then you can say you have good hormonal health. Many of us fight our body a lot. And we're just having this very interesting conversation. I wanted us to talk. I was listening to, where they said we're talking about wellness or wealth. Which one will you pick? Although for me, I will still pick wealth. Yeah. I'm completely on board when I say that you need to prioritize your body. Because in the end, all the money that you are chasing and you are making will not make sense if you are not feeling fine. I'm telling you, I always advise and tell people to go to the hospital and see people, like see real people that are suffering from issues. You will really appreciate good health. We take good health for granted because when you wake up in the morning and you're good and you fire on like that, you feel everything is okay. But when you see somebody that has dealt with cancer before, their approach to life is entirely different. If you see a woman that has dealt with breast cancer, won and came out of it, our approach to life is very different. Our approach to health is very different. Same with any other person, right? So we can say pursue wealth, pursue money, but you cannot out-hustle your biology. You cannot fight your body forever. At some point, you start paying the price. I saw a video where they were trying to explain the menstrual cycle. And, men were in the comments, they were like, even despite the explanation, I don't understand. It was funny. It was funny because, when you look at the menstrual cycle in itself, several things are happening all at once. And the fact of the matter is that women are the greatest multitaskers. And the female body itself is a very huge biological, or should I say supercomputer, like a complicated system that it takes different levels to unpack. And even up till today, science has still not done enough justice, for the female body for us to have a proper understanding of the female body. However, for some of the things that we already know, it's important for us to put it into practice, because when we know something and we are not putting it into practice, then that in itself, it's on us.